Alright guys, just a quick review for you today. I've just finished playing Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons on Xbox One. I was originally going to get this game on Xbox 360, but sold to 360 before I had a chance to play it. It also came out on PS3 and PC as well, and has now just been released on the new generation of consoles in 1080p 60 frames per second, as opposed to the 1080 30 frames per second that it was on the last generation consoles. The game itself is absolutely awesome. It has been directed by a guy called Joseph Fares, who is a Swedish film director. He's done some Swedish films I've never heard of. I'm not even going to pretend to know anything about Swedish films. But I do know that he has won awards, and this is his first game, and he's got BAFTA awards for this game, and I can see why the game is great. The game Brothers is a fantasy fairy tale adventure game. It's a one-player co-op where you control the two brothers on one control pad. The left stick and left trigger controls the older brother, and the right trigger and right stick controls the younger brother. The brothers have individual skills, and you need to use them both to solve puzzles and progress your way through levels. The story is that the mother dies at the beginning of the game, and then the father becomes very ill shortly after. You have to control the two brothers to a magical tree which contains a special water liquid which has healing properties to heal the father. The game starts off at a nice pace. The controls are intuitive, allows you to learn really quickly. There's nothing complicated about the controls. The puzzles are quite simple, and the game is actually quite short, at between 3 and 4 hours, depending on how much interaction you have with all the extra characters as you walk through the game. The character development of the two brothers is made through interactions with other people in the game. The way that people react to the two brothers is different, and the reactions really bring out the character or characters of the brothers. It's a really interesting way of doing it and progressing the story, as opposed to just usual dialogue in games, which voice acting is usually terrible, and it cuts all that right out. The game the game starts off relatively mild, but as it goes on, the game becomes more macabre with a bit of a Brothers Grimm spin on it. There's a lot of gory elements, and it's quite depressing. There are adult themes running through the game that deal with death and family tragedy and suicide. So it's definitely not a game for young children. As you get towards the end of the game, you're constantly surrounded by death, which is a reminder of what will happen to the father if you don't achieve the objective, and casts a bit of a melancholic spin on the feeling of the game, really. There are fun elements to the game as well. You get to ride around on goats, and there are a few humorous moments. The graphics are really nice, although I'm not sure there's much of a difference between the 60 frames per second of this generation consoles and the 30 frames per second of the previous generation consoles. If you've already got the game on a previous console or on the PC, I wouldn't bother upgrading, it's not worth it. But if you haven't got the game already, make sure you go out and get it. It is brilliant, and it's probably one of the best games I've played this year. Not just indie game titles, but mainstream as well. It's just so good. It's such a nice break from playing first-person shooters and third-person shooters, which is pretty much all the Xbox One has become now. I know there's a few games coming out next year for it, but to be honest, this year has had a very large concentration of a certain type of game, which for me, at least, I'm getting pretty bored of those games. So yeah, it makes a nice change of pace and a different gaming style. So yeah, I give this game a thumbs up and advise you guys to go out and get a copy if you haven't already got one, or if you have already got it, have another playthrough and enjoy and marvel at the amazing graphics, brilliant storytelling, and atmospheric music. So yeah. Alright guys, well cheers for watching. I will catch you later. Bye.